Hello everyone, welcome. I am Nate with Good Mayhem Racing, and I would like to unbox the brand new Garmin Tread 2 side-by-side edition with you. Garmin has released two new tread models for their off-road power sports side of their division, the Garmin Tread 2 side-by-side and the Overland. They have a lot of similarities. I'll talk about them in the show, and I have three examples here for you to see. If you want to buy them, two of them are in stock, and then this one here is my dealer sample. And yes, I am an authorized dealer for Garmin. I sell the equipment that I use in desert racing and I trust my life to, so you can have good confidence that it's going to be a good fit for you as well. If you would like to see these things in person, I actually have a brick and mortar store now. Please come by at 11505 Todd Street in Houston, Texas, if you would like to get your hands on a Garmin Tread kit and try them before you buy them. A lot of times these kinds of products are available commonly online. However, people would like to get that textile feel and experience before they put thousands of dollars of investment down on a off-road racing or power sports navigation kit. Most places don't have that, and I am happy to provide that service to you so you can wisely choose how to invest in your hobbies. I come from the desert racing world. I race in Baja. I just came back from the Nora Mexican 1000 where we used Garmin Treads extensively. We use the Garmin Tread Baja Race editions and Chase editions for navigating, tracking, communicating, and this right here is a stopgap for desert racers on a different front. I'm going to get into that later, but right now let me give you the quick and dirty summary that Garmin wants you to know about with the Tread 2s. These are 8-inch all-terrain navigators. They're physically significantly smaller than the big 10-inch XLs that I am used to seeing out here. The thing that's really cool about the side-by-side, it actually comes with a tubular mount. That's right, you can already mount this thing to a roll cage and have it be very useful for you off-road. It has a ultra bright glove-friendly screen. It has preloaded topo maps and nav maps. You have access to free satellite imagery just like you do with the Garmin Tread XLs. You can also do turn-by-turn navigation if you want to program it that way. And on top of that, if you are a fan of group ride, I've never used it, so I can't really put an opinion on it, but you can use an additional widget or device to integrate this with group ride or even inReach satellite communications. You can get live weather alerts if you have it paired with your phone, and there's an altimeter, barometer, all of the weather and compass gauge stuff that's built into the device. It's kind of rad. If you want to get extra levels of details in your maps well beyond what you would see with satellite imagery or with basic topo maps, you can also subscribe to Outdoor Maps Plus. That's not a requirement for 99.99% of the map use that you would actually use your side-by-side kit for, but if you are a nerd, that's a description you should buy. Anything that's particularly unique about these things? Yeah, they're smaller. They're a lot easier to hold, and they're a lot easier to transfer from equipment to equipment. It has a lot of practical overlap with the XLs, the bigger things here. This is great for a single rider or a driver. Let me repeat that again. This is great for the driver. So if you're a desert racer, an Ultra 4 driver, and you're trying to find a smaller map, simpler screen device to figure out where you are and listen to your navigator, this is the device you should use in racing. What's kind of funny about that is this is a market that Garmin hasn't advertised these things for at all, but it is the stopgap for many of people's most common complaints with off-roading. Desert racing is a very dangerous, complicated sport, and a lot of things happen all at once. So much so it usually takes two people to drive a race car. One person is physically driving, steering, and the other person is navigating, calling out waypoints, calling out notes, telling the driver to speed up, slow down, try to figure out where your driver's headspace is, and this is the device to use there. So if you're in the passenger seat of a race car, a chase car, or something like that, the Tread XL is still your baby. But if you are the driver and you want to have that reference screen to build on all the information that your buddy is giving you, check out the 8-inch side-by-side Tread 2 Overland Editions, either of those. Let's dive in. Okay, we've got a little lid right here. Folds out like this. Your serial number is going to be right here in the box. Don't forget that for your warranties. We have a few pieces of instructions and warnings about how to use your Tread 2 side-by-side edition, the do's and don'ts of hardwiring it in your car, and then the warnings thereof. The Garmin Tread 2 side-by-side edition comes with a high power cable. The Overland edition just comes with a 12-volt socket setup instead, so this gets hardwired into your side-by-side or your race car. This thing right here is the magnetic base that is very typical and normal to what you experience with the original Treads. If I understand correctly, this is almost the exact same piece of kit. You get a USB to USB-C cable adapter for charging, in addition to your tube mount to mount this to a roll cage. I am going to find out what size roll cage tube this can really mount, but my understanding is that it can go all the way up to 2 inches. The device is hiding underneath some cardboard. Did I open this thing upside down? No, maybe I did. I think I did. And here's the device. Yeah, I definitely opened this thing up upside down. Oh well. So it has a QR code for you to download the Tread app, connect this to your Wi-Fi, get things updated, and let's see what it looks like behind this wrapping. Kind of wax paper stuff. Ooh. There it is, the Garmin Tread 2 side-by-side edition. Let's compare this physically to its bigger brother, the Tread XL. That is a big difference in size. The Tread XL 10-inch is much larger than this 8-inch tablet here. And when you actually integrate it with your racing kit, the overall size difference becomes shocking just because of the dock that gets included as well. So you can save a lot of real estate on your race car by using this smaller screen on the driver's side. Okay, that's interesting. You see this mount right here? This has a slightly different plug configuration compared to the Tread XLs I'm used to seeing. You can see that this one here has 2 arrays of electrical contacts, where this one has 3. We'll talk more about that later. One of the most common complaints of the Chase editions in motorsports is that they are so big. This is a lot more approachable for it being a smaller screen. Biggest curiosity I have is, does this connect to the original maglock mounts? I've got an original one right here. Let's see if it slaps. Good, it fits. It sits. It has a micro SD card door and access on the side. This is where you would put your SD card in and download your bird's eye imagery or satellite imagery. It's also where you charge it when you're not using the regular plug setup that comes with your Overland kit. Okay, we got that question out of the way. Let's check out the tubular mount right here. I actually haven't seen their tubular mount. I usually just buy the Ram tough mounts. So let's see if this thing is actually big enough to clamp on 2-inch. Yes, it does mount on 2-inch roll cage tubing just fine. That's common in the off-road racing industry. Most cars weigh more than 4,000 pounds and have a 2-inch tubing requirement. You can see this is the typical ram mount that uses a Garmin ball cup. This is Garmin's version, and it's slightly smaller, which really opens up the amount of real estate that you have here by like several cubic inches. So if this is strong enough and rigid enough from a racing standpoint and with side-by-sides, it's nice to not have to use something so big and clunky in your race car like the ram mount. This is the main menu of the Tread kit. I like to change things up, and I will go to settings and change stuff up on map. For example, I prefer to have my tracking up or in 3D mode if I'm so inclined. I almost never do north up. I'm going to just hit save that. My waypoint labels, I like making them really large so I can see them easier when the vehicle is bouncing around. And you can declutter waypoints if you zoomed out a lot, but a lot of people don't do that from a motorsport standpoint, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Auto zoom disabled, but if you're going really, really fast, maybe that'll be useful, I don't know. And range rings, I'm gonna leave off for now. There are a lot of extra driver assistance and aids and stuff, and you can actually access cameras that you set up around your car. A lot of Garmin's BC50s are like Wi-Fi enabled cameras, and you can actually broadcast to them to this device and see around your car. Like, let's say you're in an Ultra 4 car or something like that and want to see underneath your belly up into a rock or something like that. You can totally do that with this device. Let's view the map and see what we got. I have already made this really simple. I have already disabled some of the layers, like the driving ones. I just want to see the base map. Maybe 3D terrain, contour lines, sure. I've turned off a lot of parcels and power sports style stuff just because I'm a desert racer. Well, let's go look at an example of a desert race course. Or a rock course. Maybe King of the Hammers from 2025. Yes. Yes. There it is. So Ultra 4 guys and like regular desert racers alike really like having some kind of map to view on the driver's side. So the navigator does all of the super hard work here with his device, and the racer, the driver, gets the SparkNotes edition on a smaller screen. This totally does that. This passes the vibe check. This is cool. This is on daylight mode right now. This would even pop even better in night mode. Let me check that out. There it is. In a race like King of the Hammers, there are a lot of chase notes. Check that out. You got your lines. You got all your waypoint notes on there. You can change the level of detail if you want. That is cool. And there you have it. This is the Tread 2 side-by-side edition, and if you imagined it with a suction cup, it would look exactly like the Overland. This thing is a wonderful addition to Garmin's lineup. It really does fill in a gap in their product offering where people wanted to have plenty of capability in a smaller screen and a smaller form factor that was compatible with the accessories that made the big ones so good. That's really nice about the smaller Tread 2s, is that you can still work with the white puck GPS antennas, and if you want to do iridium sat communication stuff, you just buy the widget that does it wirelessly. You can hook up cameras to this thing. You can see GPX files and waypoints and collections just like you do with this one. This one is the fully fledged chase and race thing. You have a single device that can track, communicate, do all of the major fun stuff of navigating. This is the device for that. But if you're in a situation where you want to have a little bit of extra information to complement what your buddy is telling you, this thing right here, this is it. this is a great addition to any race car, or side-by-side for that matter, because that's what it's made for, right? A quick recap: comes with a high power cable, comes with a roll cage mount and a magnetic base. That way you can take this thing off and then go work on any of your files and things like that. It has group ride features. It can work with any other like regular accessory that Garmin sells and offers, and keep tabs on the Zumo R1 radar stuff that I'm going to be working on here in the next couple of months. It'd be really cool to see how that is integrated with these devices here. So I am Nate from Good Mayhem Racing. Again, I'm a dealer for this equipment. This is probably one of the first videos outside of Garmin Corporate to actually reach the world. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to come see this in person or buy them as well, come check them out at my Houston store, 11505 Todd Street. We're open on Monday through Thursday, and we can set up appointments at another time. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage, and shoot, maybe my walk-in store. Catch you later.